I live here with Steven and Fonz. Hello, Fonz.
Hi. Good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Back from your travels.
Back from Dublin. First visit to Ireland, and I may be able to find some photographs, but not today because today we're in Devizes. But yeah, fantastic trip, great memories, and they're still continuing because a group of about 50 people got together before we went there, and they're still talking afterwards. And over the weekend, everybody was saying, "I want to be back in Dublin. Don't want to be doing social media. I want to be back in Dublin."
What was the weather like? Was it good weather?
It was walking weather. I walked from the hotel into the city centre, and because there's a what's it called?
I did see a couple of photos you put up.
Yeah, it's called the Luas, and it's sort of a tram that goes all the way from the hotel. In fact, first stop is outside the hotel, and it goes all the way into the centre of Dublin. So you can get on that, and you can just be in the centre of Dublin inside 10 minutes.
So this is a tram, electric tram.
It's cross between a tram and a train, really.
Yeah.
I'll grab some photos of it.
A tram. No, tram. Yeah,
a tram. It was a tram. I mean, you've got a choice. You can either go on the tram for 10 minutes, or because it's nice and sunny, you can actually say, right, I'm going to walk. So I walked and enjoyed the walk. And we say good day to Kelly, and good day to Diana. Hello, and good day to David Burrows. Oh wow, and good day to Bob, who says she might join us later. Hello. All good. And
they must want to see you, because when I did it on my own last week, nobody commented. There must be must be your little fan club you've got here.
Right. Okay. The first thing, the reason everybody's here, and say hello to Charles. Charles, nice to see you. Hooray! Charles in the house. Basically, 10 minutes before we go live, I send out a broadcast saying that we're going live. That's the major difference. And Charles, sorry she missed the show last Tuesday, so there you are.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
It's the notification going out that makes all the difference, particularly at the beginning of the show.
Well, it shows that from...
Yeah. And just to make a point, the message that everybody's seeing is a personal message from Fonz and myself, and we do appreciate you come and watch the show, and we are very grateful. And it's our new bot that's running today, and Bob is saying good morning from Central Oregon, USA. Good morning, Bob. Right, so we're both back. RJ is now on her way to Mexico. She's on a cruise.
Wow.
So hopefully she'll bring some film or photos back. And the question for yourself, Fonz, are you feeling better, my friend?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. It seemed to be I had one thing on the back of the other, and I've got an ongoing complaint with my stomach. I've got problems with my stomach, and I was took into hospital in a lot of pain with my stomach, and they've looked into it further. I've got to go back for further camera stuff, but I think they got the root of the problem and dealing with it now. But it's my own fault, this stomach problem, because it's years of abuse when I was younger on my stomach, and the junk and the drink and everything that I drank, and so it affects you when you get older. Definitely does. So I've learnt my lesson, and now I'm on a strict diet of eating certain things. I can't drink alcohol. I've got to stop drinking coffee, and basically anything that's junk, really.
Healthier lifestyle.
Yeah. Because when I used to do radio in the office, I used to drink up to 30 cups of coffee a day, probably more.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And it does take its toll on your body. It does take its toll. So, yeah. Well,
the road to a better, healthier life has started. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I've been on this thing for a week now. It's hard because
Yeah.
I'm kind of person that sit in bed and eat chocolate bars and stuff, and I can't do that now. And it was a struggle the first few days, but I'm getting there now and actually getting into, and I feel healthier in myself as well, so it's all worth it.
Right. And Charlie's saying, "Help you feel much better real soon. Have you tried lemon ginger tea?"
No, I'll have to give that a try. I'm a big one thing I haven't give up is Earl Grey tea, because I love Earl Grey tea. I keep getting told everybody knows me, says it smells like perfume. How can I drink it? But I love it.
Well, it's the tea of choice when you're having afternoon tea, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
that's what we said. I'm a Yorkshireman myself. I like Yorkshire tea.
Yeah. Is it actual 100% as in Yorkshire tea? Yorkshire tea.
It's packaged in Yorkshire. It's not grown in Yorkshire.
Yeah. No, I mean it's the Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire tea.
Oh, it's the Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire tea. Yeah, it's the real thing.
Yeah.
It's certified 100% packaged in Yorkshire. I mean, there is Lancashire tea, and that's where I'm from. But I don't like Lancashire tea. I prefer Yorkshire tea. And I've even brought the Yorkshire tea down to Wiltshire.
Yeah.
And Cheryl, and conversely, Angelica. Cheryl is saying, I'm a huge tea drinker. I love it too. There you are. Right. Tea is the name of the game. And terribly, what
I think tea's okay. It's just too much coffee. But you know, what I mean, it's like keeps you awake and busy, doesn't it? Coffee.
It does. It does.
But I didn't realise it has a toll on your heart as well. It really does, because it makes your heart. So, yeah, was very scary for me and learned me a big lesson. So, people, be careful of the coffee.
Okay. Shall we go for a walk?
Yeah.
In the fresh air. Now, this may or may not work, so bear with us a moment. I'm going to try and share my desktop, and we're going to take you a short walk along, well, best to explain first. The Kennington Avon Canal runs alongside Devizes where I live. It's about half a mile away from me. And we've been on there before, but we're going again. And this time we're going to take a look at the locks. This is a short video, after which Fonz and I will be back. If you post your questions while the video is playing, Fonz and I are still here. So I'm just going to try and share my desktop again. That worked for a little while.
We'll be here taking the walk with everybody.
It's not working. Oh, this is...
Is it playing up again?
The way it's going at the moment, we could be talking about the walk.
We'll have to describe it. To the left is a bush. To the right is some water.
Right, we're in luck. Shall we?
Okay, good. I wasn't up for describing it.
Let's just go with it. Oh, it's gone. Oh.
Okay, back to descriptions. To the left is a bush. To the right is a river. In front of us is a path.
Indeed, and that path is the Kennington Avon Canal. And dearie me. And Charles looking forward to the walk. And Kelly's saying he wants Yorkshire pudding and roast beef. Good man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And Charles saying it's one of her favourites too. Okay, right, this is another attempt at sharing my desktop. Just bear with me a moment, and hopefully this time you'll be able to see the video. We're staying quiet. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed.
Yeah.
The video is not working. Let's try something different.
Would it help if you refreshed?
I may do that in a moment. I'm just going to see if I can bring this through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, something's happening.
Something's happening. Right. I'm going to go to this tab, and I'm going to go back to the beginning, and we'll try and bring the video back in a minute. But if for the moment
they've disappeared again. The look on your face says it all.
Sorry, but apologies, everybody. I'm going to take myself off screen. No, I'm not. I'm going to refresh. We'll be back in a moment. It's over to you, Fonz. You talk about
okay.
Yeah.
Right, the walk. Yep.
If the page reloads, I can't get it to reload at the moment.
I've seen a bit of the walk, so we have got a lovely walk to look forward to when it comes up. But of course, got a few technical issues at the moment. It's always when you go live, you get technical problems. But there you go. What can be done? So you have to work around them. But yeah. So hopefully Stephen will be back in a moment. Of course, he took a walk around near the canal where he lives, and what I've seen of the walk, which showed me a bit earlier, we're in for a treat anyway. And I'm not sure if he's coming back. Oh, there he is. I think. Oh,
I'm back.
I think. Oh, there he is.
I asked my order, and
I was running out of things to say then.
Right. Okay. Is it David's fault? We'd actually planned this, and David was going to join us later in the show, but he's not now going to do so. But we're going to soldier on. I'm going to try and share my desktop. Just a moment.
Try again.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. I shut everything else down.
Does it sometimes do that if you've got a lot of things running?
It could do. So that's what I'm
hoping. Something's happening. Something's happening. There you go. I can see it.
Okay.
See, I told you. I told you it was a bush to the left and a river to the right and a path in front of you.
Okay. Let's start.
I have some friends with me. Ducks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk down the longest locks in the UK, if not Europe, if not the world. Devizes locks are world renowned, and I'm just walking forwards. Hopefully I don't forget anything. I've forgot one or two things last 24 hours. Okay, so we're approaching the top of the locks, and you can see the first lock. Now, the locks are put in place where a canal has to navigate a hill, and in this particular case it's a very steep hill, as you will see, and I'm going to do it in sections, and this is the first section. Now, apologies for the shakiness. I'm hoping that we do get the gimbal sorted out shortly, and that will make life a lot easier. Okay, so I'm approaching the first lock, and you can see the ducks on the water as we come, and as opposed to in the summer when the grass had disappeared, we now have a situation where the grass is green, and I'm going to walk over to the first lock. Now, a lock is comprised of two gates, and on the upper gate the water is at a level higher than on the second gate, and basically what happens, if I go closer, is that the boat moves into the lock. After the gates have been opened, that lock will fill with water, and the boat will be able to go from there down to the lock, and then they will open the second gate to let the water out, and the level will fall to that you can see further on. So it is a one-person operation. It can be done by one person, and basically you need to have a key which is given to you when you first start your journey on the canal, and that is used to help you move the gates. If you've not got the key, you can't move the gates. Simple as. So let's take a look. into the first lock, and you can see the steps there which allow people to climb down and to tidy things up. And the bots are working today, so hello to the bots. Hello Roz, watching on the iPad. Okay, so this is the first lock, and I'm going to walk down and you can join me in my journey. We've just left Devizes. I'm going to go back the way I came. Walking down steep white slopes is not the best idea in the world, so I'm just going to gradually return back to the path. Okay, so here we are on the path. Now of course this video will find its way onto the I Live Here show, which is every Tuesday 9 AM Eastern, and just needs possibly a little bit of editing. And so follow me as we journey down the canal. I can see your comments as they come in, and I shall try and read them. And I've got a comment of not again. Well, no, I haven't done this section before, so this is new to you. And what I've discovered about the I Live Here shows that we do is that you don't know what's going to happen next, and sometimes we don't either. But in this particular case, I do. We're going to pass under the road in a moment, and this is a place where I do my training, which would normally be for the Sarsen Trail. That's been cancelled, so I'm thinking of doing a 10k, and well, I've got to get some practice in if I want to beat last year's time, well 2 years ago time. Right, okay, now I've discovered I can't actually read the comments without sort of going off camera, so I'll reply to all the comments afterwards. But I'm on my Samsung phone, Android, and we are out and about on the Canal Canal, and getting closer to the next lock and the bridge. Now, this is ahead where you see the lorry is one of the main roads into Devizes. Devizes has 5 roads leading into it. And you can see, I'll stop for a moment, you can see the houses by the canal side, and I think in this instance the canal came first and then the houses came second. And you can see over there that somebody in the summer, not today, somebody sits outside. Well, that's the bottom of their garden. Wouldn't it be good to have a garden like that that just goes out onto the canal? Right, so we're approaching the second lock. Now, there won't be any boats going up and down the locks today, because this is the closed season. Hi, for canal boating, and you could see the water in the lock is the same as the level of the water of the canal down there, and we're dropping again. I would say each lock drops about 20 feet. We can check that in a minute as we look back towards our policeman actually checking out one of the boats on the canal, making sure that everything's okay. And it's good to see local police patrolling the area, and I can see traffic lights over there. Must be some roadworks. Okay, now one of the favourite occupations at weekends, especially on a Sunday, is to come out for a drink, and if you want to sit by the canal, then on our right here we're coming up to a pub. That's unfortunate because somebody actually crashed into the bridge a couple of weeks ago, only months after it had been repaired. It is a bend in the road that you can't go over 20 when you're driving along there, and if you try to, then the result is that you can actually crash into the bridge. So, well, we'll follow that and see what happens. Okay, now across the road, we can, first of all, we can see 4 boats moored up. Now they will be there for the winter. People are actually living on those boats. We're not going to intrude, but beyond that, you see the blue sign with the yellow writing. That is a garden centre, so that's another place that people come to on the weekend to stock up on plants, etc. And I'm going to go under the bridge. Right, there are housing estate to the left of you, and you can see the houses, and you can see television aerials on the houses as well. Not everybody is cable only. We still have terrestrial. Well, no, we're all digital, but aerials are still required. Okay, now one of the things I'm careful of when I'm actually out filming is to make sure that we only get the scenery rather than the people. Now, it's wet and windy today, so there aren't many people walking along the canal, so it's probably a good time to see it. And you're going to have the background traffic for a moment, so my apologies for that. I can't do anything about it, but we'll soon be on the other side of the bridge, and then you'll notice how quiet it actually is. Okay, so I'm going under a tunnel, and I'm ducking. You can't see me ducking, but hopefully the Wi-Fi will hold. So this is a tunnel underneath the road, and it's wide enough for 2 people in a bike or a pram or a pushchair to actually get through. And it goes under that bridge, which, as you can see, at the moment is being repaired. Every so often along the canal are access points, and this is the one from the road, and traffic's starting to queue because it's just one way at the moment to the bridge. I'll look back at the bridge in a second. Okay, so that's a tree, and there is the bridge, and at the moment it's being repaired. And the canal, there is a canal and river trust, and this is a voluntary organisation which is funded, and their job is to look after the canal. Now you can see certainly on this bank of the canal and on the other bank of the canal that on a regular basis all the surrounds of the canal are actually managed. Right, now, before the bridge we had a path, and that path was a man-made path. This is man-made as well, but this is a bit muddier and a bit wetter, and this section through town has been made easier to walk on, and there are no puddles. But as soon as we start down here, then we're going to have an uneven surface and puddles. So forgive me for a moment if I go splash. Okay, so are you counting the locks? Because I make this lock number 3. Now the only reason going down the locks is so that you can actually go back up again, and you'll see the view and why it's worth doing this. We're in Devizes in Wiltshire. We're walking from Devizes toward, well, all of this was dug out and created, and every stone was laid by hand.
And now you're back to us.
Wow, I got so into that. Right, I don't know if you noticed me that when you went under the bridge, I actually went down like
You did as well. Well, I mean, what happened was that video was filmed 2 weeks ago on a pretty cold day, and I got to that point, and I could see the because I was live on Twitch. I could see the comments going down the right-hand side, and I saw a comment which said the video is stalled, and so I thought I'll stop there. But unfortunately, well, the video was okay, but the person actually watching it, her screen had stalled. But that's the first section of the Kennington Avon Canal. And
wonderful walk. I saw some comments about, because I said earlier it's lovely to walk about bike riding down there, and it would make a lovely bike ride.
Okay, and basically you can get a license to ride along the towpath, or you can just risk it and just ride along the towpath anyway. Which do you think people do?
If you get caught, what happens to you?
You get fined. If you get caught, you get fined. You should. Anybody can cycle providing they've got a permit. If you've got the permit, which is it's less than $10, then you can cycle. You could actually ride on the canal from London to Bristol. Yeah. Wow. So you could actually ride for about 200 miles on towpaths, away from traffic, in safety, in the countryside, and it's magical. And we say hello to Gospel, and Becky's saying it did look low under the bridge. Yeah, I did duck. I always do duck. There's probably about 2 inches of clearance.
Yeah, but I wasn't even there and I ducked. I got so into it. No, it was a lovely walk.
And Charles saying she loved it, and you're most welcome, Charles. Thank you. Right, okay. Now it's a man-made canal, and it's been designed so the water cannot overflow its banks. That said, though, in normal times, no. In a torrential downpour, possibly, but you've always got the safety valve of the locks actually be able to carry the water away and down to the sea. So it's not a major problem. Slip sliding away, slippery when wet. Yeah, the path through the town has actually been it's been beautified for the townies, so the townies don't get muddy clogs or muddy shoes. They can just walk along and take their dog for a walk as well. You find lots of people between 6 and 9 in the morning go to the canal to walk the dog. Because it's flat. It's flat.
It's a good place a long walk to take your dog as well. So gets a good old run down there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Becky's saying, have you spotted any sounds of wildlife? Yep, the whole area is out in the countryside. The further away you get from town, the more of the wildlife you can see, and we can see deer. And we can see domesticated animals too, like cattle and sheep and all manner of creatures.
So this is in fields. Is this in fields around it then, all these sheep?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Otters. You get to see some otters.
Yep, otters. Yeah, anything that lives by water. So it's a nature reserve as well. And Becky said it's a nice cycle route. And there are houseboats moored along the whole length of the canal, and people can stay there for a day, a week, or a month, or even longer. And some people do live on houseboats all year round, and they just move from one place to another. Yeah, basically from one pub to another.
Yeah, that's what it is. Cambridge has got houseboats and all that as well. I've always said I'd love to live in a houseboat, but I don't think I would.
I'd love to holiday in one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'd love to go on a holiday in one. I think that's about it for me. Yeah, I like my house too much. It's got central heating and stuff.
Yeah, I mean you can hire. I mean there are. On my next journey, you'll see a marina, which is it's got 300 boats actually moored away, slightly away from the canal, and you can hire boats as well. So if you wanted to hire a boat and go sailing down the canal towards Bristol or up towards London, then you can do that in summer, April through to September, and you're talking anywhere between $400 and $800 for the week. So
yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Well, it's the same price. It was somewhat cheaper in some ways than a hotel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Some hotels are through the roof, aren't they?
Yeah.
We don't get boats around here. We just get punts.
Right, and we've got a weather situation update. It's so warm looking and green. This was last summer, Kelly. Well, it's earlier in the year. The polar vortex is moving here in Ontario, and we're getting ready for -35.
Wow. Whoa.
Okay. And then Charlie's saying that she can't compete, but it will be below 50. It's 25 today, -25 today. And Becky is saying that we're waiting for snow. You waiting for snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around here, it looks like it. Do you know what I mean? Like Becky's saying, it's icy cold in Cambridge. Yeah, it is. I was in the city centre. I was there early this morning to do a few bits, and came back about lunchtime for the show. And it was cold. Not many. I actually went on the market square. I had to walk past the market square, and to my surprise, there weren't that many market stalls up today. So they must know saying.
Yeah, what happens down here in terms of the markets is that they check the weather forecast 24 hours before.
Yeah, I think that's what they might have done. But there is problems with the market. They're trying to change it all and all that as well. So there's a big campaign going on to save the markets.
We've got problems with our market square as well. I mean, the market square every Thursday you've got stalls on there, but when there aren't stalls on there, it's a car park. It's a small car park.
That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be here, but it's all every day now because they've pedestrianised it. Really, you're not allowed to drive cars through there anymore. Cambridge is got a thing of wanting to pedestrianise most of its streets, and anybody in Cambridge will tell you it's a nightmare to drive around Cambridge now. And the parking, you might as well remortgage your house.
It can be expensive, can't it? Can't it just? In Devizes, Wiltshire Council, which is the county council or state council, if you like, decided that Devizes would no longer have parking in the town centre, and they told this town council of Devizes that they would no longer have parking in the centre. So that's due to disappear, which for the local shops, for local shops is a problem. There's going to be 6 disabled spaces, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what the most towns and cities are aiming for, because we've got park and ride, and a lot of people drop off at the park and ride, park their cars up, and just get a bus into the cities. And I think that's what they're trying to aim towards, really, that they use the park and ride service and keep the traffic out. Yep,
that's it. To keep traffic for pedestrians, but you've got to find somewhere to park. I mean, right? Okay, catching up. Charles saying, does seem great. So great to see green and water. Yeah, I mean, I can play that video every week and remind myself of what it was like. Can you rent them? We can hear. Yeah, houseboat rentals. Yeah, houseboat rentals. I say between $400 and $800 a week, depending on the season. And Becky's saying, we'll be worried about sinking overnight. Houseboats are very warm ponds with wood or coal bones, so lovely and cozy.
Making it sound like I should have got one now. No, I think for me is I would love to, you know, I mean, I think if it was me, like take a summer out and spend summer on the houseboat. Like that kind of thing. Do you remember Rosie and Jim?
I do.
Yeah, I'd be like that.
Memories. Yeah.
I'll be like that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. But I could happily do it for a week. The thing though is it's a very slow way of life on the canal.
It's slow. Well, it is because we live in such a fast-paced world now. I think everything's everything one step ahead before you even get there these days, and it takes you back to how slow and relaxing things are.
Yeah.
I've been looking at a lot of because over the years I've collected old TV programs and stuff, and I've been watching a few, upload, and how different. You think in the last 20 years how things have changed so dramatically, how things have sped up.
Oh, yeah.
And we do really live a fast pace of life these days. And yeah, that brings back the slowness. And
well, the maximum speed on a barge boat is 4 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can walk briskly at 4 miles an hour, so it means you could overtake a boat.
The thing is though, if you kind of think, could I do it in the old-fashioned ways and not have no internet? And the answer would be no. I can't. Not to have internet, it's like.
Yeah,
it's just come a necessity of life, really, hasn't it now?
Right. Okay. Now, earlier this week we discovered that we were going to have a guest on the show. That's not taking place. So we've gone to our plan B today, and our plan B is to actually dig into the photographs. And it's my turn this week.
Yeah.
So these are my photographs, and hopefully the screen share will work. I'm going to go to screen share, and we're going to look at some photographs from around Wiltshire. And coming up onto the screen now, we've sussed out why it didn't work before, and I'm going to go full screen.
Yeah, they're coming up.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, right. So we've got a theme today of canals. And this is a different canal. This is the Wiltshire and Berkshire Canal, not Berkshire, Berkshire. And this runs from the Cairnsnevin Canal over into Berkshire, Reading Way. And like the canal we've just been looking at, in the 1800s, when the railways appeared, canals fell into disuse. These were the main ways of taking goods from the port in Bristol. So goods come across by boat from the USA to Bristol, and then from Bristol they go by canal and they go to London. Now there are two ways to go: the Cairnsnevin Canal or the Berkshire Canal. And this is the Berkshire Canal, and it's mentioned earlier about this is an ideal setting for wildlife.
Yeah, that's the sum of. You can see it was taken in the summertime. Such a lovely view.
Right. Okay. Now these are in no particular order. So next we're going to go. This is local to me. This is Drews Pond Woods, and it's just on the outskirts of Devizes. It's a managed wood, which means that it's cared for full time. And they put a path through the woods of about 1.5 miles, and you can just walk through the woods. And this is as you set off. I mean, the paths like this, the conservation that's going on Fonz at the moment of walks like this is just amazing, isn't it? Especially
it is, yeah.
Well.
Yeah. So yeah. It's when I was younger, I remember walk paths used to be muddy, dirty tracks, and it put you off. Even round here, they're making proper pathways, so it's an enjoyable and maintaining them all. So it's a more better experience, really.
It is, because it's preserving the woods. Definitely, now this is one of my favourite places to visit.
What I've noticed in Cambridge as well, they're doing a lot of building new houses everywhere, especially around near the hospital, because they've got Papworth there, and they're planning to build a children's hospital as well. And what they're doing is planting lots of trees, lots and lots of trees, and it's rejuvenating the area, really. And you imagine when they all grow. So
indeed, yeah, it's just fantastic to actually be able to go out into the woods, or to a local garden. This is a National Trust property. This is the Courts Garden in Holt, which is about 15 miles from where I am at the moment. And
it's disappeared off the screen.
Just a minute.
I can't see. I don't know if other people can, but I can't.
Right. Okay. I'm going to try again. I'm talking about the photographs and you can't see them. Okay. We're trying again. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming back up.
Right. We're back now?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Courts Garden in Wiltshire, in Holt. And it's a beautiful place to walk around in the summer. And I just love this water feature. It's just a beautiful place, and we're staying in the same area. This is the same gardens with the house attached, and it's a great place to stroll. You can go around the garden, it takes about an hour. And that's the great thing about a national trust, isn't it, Fonz? They've preserved so many places.
It's a bit like the botanical gardens. Reminds me a bit in Cambridge. Remember we looked a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's gone again, hasn't it? Just a minute.
Yeah, it's popped off the screen again, yeah.
Bear with me. Right, so it's got just a minute. This is live video, folks. Let's catch up with comments. Okay.
Only when it's only when you're live. Only when you're live.
True. Charles said she can't see it. We can't see it either. We're having fun today.
But one thing you've got to realise, you've not done what I've done. Completely took a whole radio station off the air. So
no. How did you manage that one?
I don't know. I pressed a few wrong buttons. And it took them about 20 minutes to get it back on there. So, yeah.
It's not working. It's not firing. Okay, we'll bring the photographs back next time. Let's just catch up on the comments. And Charles saying yes, the botanical gardens in Cambridge. Yeah.
Yeah, lovely day. Yeah.
And Becky's saying we have botanical gardens, which I'm told is beautiful in the summer.
They are. Yeah, they are all year round. It's a lovely place to walk around. And of course, if you go, there's a hint for anybody if they go there. If you go to the centre fountain and look on the benches, there's one for Syd Barrett, the founder of Pink Floyd. And I've often sat on that bench, and a lot of my history articles that you read on my website probably were composed or ideas of what I want to write are actually done on that bench. Because Sid was one of my all-time idols, really. Great guy. Sad what happened to him, but very talented. I think he should have stayed with the art because his artwork's amazing.
Indeed. And Becky's saying it's nice to slow the pace down. It brings you back down to earth, and that's what really matters in life.
Definitely.
So
100% with that. Sometimes you do. You just got to step away from the world and watch it rush by you. And I think if you do that, even if you sit in a busy place, so if you've got a green area and there's all traffic rushing around you and you're just sitting there on a bench, you see how fast-paced life really is now. It's all rushing past you as it's happening, and you're just sitting there in your own little thing watching it. I often do that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons I don't broadcast at weekends. I try not to. Is just to take a turtle break, get out and about in the countryside, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very fortunate. National Trust preserves properties around the county and around the country, and for an annual fee, you can go everywhere from Stonehenge through to the Courts Gardens, which we saw a moment ago.
Stonehenge. Have you? How many times have you been there? A few times.
Yeah, go 3 or 4 times a year because it's free for us because we paid the National Trust, so we can go there anytime.
What do you think? What do you personally think Stonehenge is all about?
Now you put me on the spot.
I don't know, because people have different views about what it is and what it could be, and
Stonehenge. Yeah.
Carry on.
No, Stonehenge is basically a meeting place, possibly a sacred place as well, where people from the UK gathered together to celebrate the solstices. Yeah. Yeah. What is it to you?
Not to do with aliens.
No.
It's the same thing as connected to you, but I find it amazing how you think about it, how they lifted those stones, because some of them come from Wales, wasn't it?
That's correct.
And lifting them and putting them in place.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's brilliant how it, I mean, the limited technology that they had, well, no technology then really was there. It's just how they did it. It's amazing. But then again, if you watch some conspiracy websites, it was aliens with anti-gravity lifts.
No, I don't subscribe to the alien theory. I think that
No, not all.
Stonehenge. I know Stonehenge. I mean, if you take Salisbury Cathedral, which was built in the time when the only tools they had were hand tools, and
brilliant. Some of the things as well. You're right. It's some of the how they've built it, but if that's all you've got, you make the best of it, don't you? Really?
Yeah.
And right. We obviously did with Stonehenge. Yeah. Little help from a few aliens.
Catching up. Becky's saying she's Cambridge born and bred.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah,
I was born down Mill Road. I wonder if she was born down Mill Road.
Ah, Mill Road, Cambridge.
Yeah. Dunsbridge.
Okay. And that was the start of I Live Here.
Yeah, it was.
Mill Road, Cambridge. Yeah.
Yeah. Me getting off a bus. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go to
Ditchburn Place.
Right, and Charles saying we need to learn to practice the power of the pause.
Definitely.
Okay, and all right, and Becky's got a question. Do you visit for the solstices, Stephen? I'm only going to say that Angelica has been. I've not been yet. The winter and summer solstices. I might do. That's a might. In 2019, I might be there for the summer solstice. And
just don't go where all the UFO hunters are there. Work out what day of the week they're going.
No. Okay. And Cheryl's saying my heritage is from England, Ireland, and Scotland. Right. And a point from Becky: English heritage is charging people to park and pray. At the summer solstice, you don't have to pay the fee to actually get into the site, but you do have to pay to park. And I'm of the opinion, and forgive me for this, that if the site was left alone, it would fall. That's going to sound strange. The whole area would go into disrepair.
Oh yeah,
English Heritage and National Trust do a fantastic job of actually preserving and maintaining the woodlands around Stonehenge and the countryside around Stonehenge and the burial mounds around Stonehenge. I don't begrudge paying for parking, but that's just me.
Can you, when you visit, can you go right up to the stones?
Right. If you're a National Trust member, an English Heritage member, you can walk close to the stones. And you can get within about 20 feet of them. If you're not paying, then you can get within about 50 feet of them.
If you're not paying, you have to look from London for a pair of binoculars.
No. You can still walk partway around, and you can see the stones. There's only
I can imagine you're not allowed to go right up to them because damage, I suppose, isn't it? I suppose it's a bit risky as well.
Yeah, there are 2 times a year when you can actually touch the stones, and that's the winter solstice and the summer solstice, and anybody can go and touch the stones at that point. There is not an alien feeling. There is a mystical feeling about the place itself.
Yeah, just don't tell the alien hunters that.
And there are many henges around the world. That's very true. Avebury, Woodhenge.
Yeah, there's loads. Yeah. There's a few in the UK. I don't know. Right. There's a few in the UK.
And the update from Becky. She was born on
born in Histon Road. I know where she is.
Okay. And Cheryl is saying, I live Cambridge and all the tours around the city here. I have to visit one day when I make it to England. Well, if you do that,
I know a guy I take her for a history walk.
Yep, and I know a guy who'd take you for a glass of wine along after the history walk or during the history walk. Okay, and Becky, what is it in UFOs in Cambridge? It could be a UFO landing, Fonz. Think about that.
Don't do that because I'll start thinking that I don't know. I don't know. an open-minded person. I don't say it's this and it's not this and it is this, but I just find the stories interesting. I just find it of interest. It's not. I don't say that's what did happen or didn't happen, but they are. I suppose it's an interesting take on it. Really, it's obvious that Stonehenge wasn't aliens, but it's sort of an interest. I suppose it's like if I wanted to write a book, it'd be the aliens of Stonehenge or something. So I suppose it's that kind of way. Do you see what I mean? It's just find it interesting.
Yeah. And a counterpoint to what I was just saying, Becky's saying they're trying to charge all the time now, Stephen. Only if you're allowed near the stones. They're trying to stop Arthur Pendragon and the Druids. Sounds like a pop group, but it's not.
I was going to say, how many albums do they bring out?
He is a real person.
Yeah, I think their number one was it. I saw an alien kissing mummy next to Stonehenge.
Oh dear. And Charles saying we absolutely love to take a tour around and a glass of wine. We're welcome to join us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I just want to bring that now up on the screen again. Arthur Pendragon and Druids. Now, this obviously there is a Facebook group which is, I think Arthur Pendragon is actually a member of, and it does keep you up to date on what's happening. And we all need to watch Ancient Aliens. It will open our views.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's on history, on the History Channel. Yeah, I watched that. It sort of does open. It sort of gives you an alternative view of thing on some things as well. But I tell you something that I think, and this is me going on record, which I shouldn't really say.
If you go, the screen is yours.
I don't believe, that aliens have visited us in the past so much. I got my theory is us from the future and shaping our own past to make what's gonna happen. That's a strong view that I've had. Maybe I'm completely way off. Who knows? But that's something I thought that it's our own selves.
Yeah, the theory of parallel universes is well regarded.
Yeah, it's like some people say, well, time travel's not possible because we would see time travelers. But how do you know that a guy sitting next to you on the bus isn't a time traveler? Just blending in. You don't, do you? Sorry, I'm going too much this conspiracy stuff. But you see why I find it interesting. I'm not saying that is true. I'm not saying that's what's true, but it sort of makes you think, though, doesn't it?
It does. I
love the future. I love the future us idea. It's us from the future coming back to. I like it much better than the aliens. Because how do we know? We don't. Because people say they see aliens. How do we know? Because you evolve, you change, don't you? You can grow an extra finger and stuff. How do we know that's not how we look in the future? How mankind evolves into with big black eyes.
Okay, I'm back.
I've got you thinking now, don't you?
Yeah, I'm back with Kelly, and Kelly's saying, need more info on your new show, Fonz. Missed the Twitch show yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a moment to talk about that?
Yeah, it's not going to be on Twitch. I couldn't get my head around Twitch yesterday. I feel more comfortable on Facebook at the moment, but you never say never with Twitch. So I'm going to start from the beginning again this Friday at 8 p.m. and it's going to be on the Cambridge Historian page, which is facebook.com/the Cambridge Historian at 8 p.m. Friday. And it's not Cambridge history, it's just looking at history in general. So different history subjects. I'm going to pick one each week and you can get involved and comment while I'm chatting about a history subject.
So that's Friday, 8 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Be there.
I'm glad somebody remembers all the times. And I guarantee no aliens.
Okay, or shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Oh, we've run the full gamut. We started off on a canal. We're now going off into space and around all the
And back
henges in the
again.
world. There are famous henges all around the world. We'll have to sort of do a henge show and get photographs of the henges. And there's a spectacular one in France. So, I mean, the henge came into being at the same time as the pyramids.
Yeah, pyramids.
So,
that's another wonderful. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing. It's how all these things happened.
Yeah, it is.
But then again, it is a landing pad for aliens.
Oh dear. I think I'm being surrounded by aliens, and that's Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it is all tied in with the pyramids. Becky's agreeing with you, and Charlie's saying she can't get into Twitch either. I guess it's just me.
No, it's a different thing. Is different formats suit people in different ways, and I feel really comfortable with the Facebook format, but Twitch is a little bit different. That might change in the future, we never know. So, but at the moment I just can't. What I want to do doesn't fit the Twitch format really, because I struggled with it, but I know I can pull it off on the Facebook one, if that makes sense.
It does, and it is a question with broadcasting of where you feel comfortable. Yeah. And if you don't feel comfortable on a particular place, then it shows, and it gets into the show, and if you're not enjoying yourself, how can people watching enjoy your show? Exactly. So I agree entirely where you're coming from, and look forward to seeing the show on Friday.
But we never say never, because things may change.
This is true. Now, we have no plans for Highloo here next week. Who knows what's going to happen? Perhaps the aliens will come down and give us a
take
tour
over.
They'll take over today. Well, the Druids, Arthur Pendragon and the Druids. We should dedicate today's show to the Druids. And Becky's saying she doesn't want to start twitching. Okay, yeah, we've been there. So we'll go away and make plans for next week, and
we're going by their latest album, and
right, okay. Over to you, Fonz, to close the show.
Is it the end?
Yeah.
Wow, that's flew by.
Good.
Yeah. No. Thanks for everybody to tuning in, and yeah, that was an interesting show, from canals to UFOs and aliens and Stonehenge. So you never know what's going to happen, really, do you, on a show? There's always surprises.
No, there are always surprises.
That's why it's always good to stay tuned in from beginning to end, because you never know what might pop up. So that's my tip of the week. That's my tip of the week. Stay tuned in, because you never know what's coming next.
We don't see. You can't. Okay, take care, everybody. Thank you for watching today.
Bye.
You're awesome, and we'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.